I hear her saying, yeah, you had a rough childhood. And I'm like, really? Wake up, you fell again.
It was, well, 20 years ago, actually. So I was pregnant with my 19-year-old and Job was 6.
When Andrea Cooley and her son Job took refuge at Womenspace, neither understood the impact 1 week would have on their lives.
I was pretty well caught up in a really emotional time that week, and so I was spending a lot of time utilizing the services. I mean, I remember talking to a lot of people and trying to get emotionally available for him because I was a wreck.
Wake up, this is real. I think I might have, skewed memories that are just covered by perspective.
Perspective Job first discovered while spending time in a Womenspace shelter 2 decades ago. But Andrea and Job never talked about that week or the violence until recently.
When this came up, I asked him, do you remember Womenspace? And he said, yeah, I remember Womenspace. I said, well, what do you remember?
Say I don't understand, I don't. I can't see the point in treating yourself so low. We walked in the door, and the first thing I remember is, this big box of, stuffed animals. It literally, she walks up, she goes, hey, pick a stuffed animal, and everybody in the room, all the kids, they all got stuffed animals, and they're going like this, and they're showing me what they got, and I'm just like, okay. I was like, this is great.
Andrea had no idea Job remembered any of it. She hoped he wouldn't remember the battles. It never dawned on her he would remember shelter as one of the best times.
I think the hardest thing being an abuse survivor is that you think you did a terrible job parenting because you didn't get out right away, or because you went back to try to make it work, or whatever reasons. I could kick myself over and over for the next 20 years that I didn't do this right, or that, but I've learned not to.
My biggest memories of it was just basically, hey, come play with everybody, this is a great place. Mom's walking off and, talking to all her friends, and I think, I'm like, man, is this some kind of like alternative school or something?
So Womenspace really helped me be there for him, and because I couldn't be, completely. And so they were there for me, and we were all there for him, and he was able to maintain a childhood. Gosh, that makes me think of that one song of Job's actually right now. That look to those who love you. There's people that love you. There always are.
There are struggles in us all. Look for help from the ones who love you.
The mission of Womenspace is to prevent domestic violence in intimate partner relationships and support survivors in claiming personal power. Part of that support includes protecting children, and in doing so, creating better communities.
I did keep him protected, and that I did do the right thing, even though it was it was the hardest circumstance basically of my life, So yeah, it felt really good. But it's never too late. It's never too late, especially if you have kids. That's how I look at it. I mean, I stayed off and on 18 years, and not just one abusive relationship.
Women need support, and so do their children. At Womenspace, the commitment is to both, and in the end, it's the community as a whole that is better off.
Even in our roughest times, which, I do remember a couple times just, me and her, living in some houses, everything was still, from her energy and the way she, made everything appear, everything was, really good.
And I guess that's the thing I would tell other women. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. You're better and stronger. Now I'm gonna get that teary thing. You're better and stronger than you know. And it took 20 years to find out I was better and stronger than I knew.
What Womenspace volunteers and staff did 20 years ago changed the next generation in this family and gave hope and inspiration to a young songwriter and his mother.
Now I feel like, as an adult, it's like, I can take on the world.
That tells me Womenspace works. It's a wonderful place to go when you need help.
I think, she should be a very proud mother.